More than 15,000 persons living in southern Denmark prefer speaking German instead of Danish. For this minority, the 14 German-speaking schools are very important, since it is here they learn the language and are given an introduction to their cultural background. The schools are funded by both the German and Danish governments, and in the last decades the schools have experienced a surge in popularity. There are now 25% more pupils attending the German schools than 30 years ago. Jae Min is the spokesperson of Bundesdeutscher Nordschleswiger, a political organization that represents all of the German-speaking minority in Denmark. He underlines the importance of the German-speaking schools.
If we didn't have our own institutions, schools, kindergartens, I don't think we would exist as a minority here anymore.
However, the funding of the schools is an issue, says Jae Min.
We are receiving 100% of the money that a Danish student in the public Danish school receives. That's what we get from the Danish government. But because we have more lessons and 2 languages, German as well, and we have small schools, our schools are more expensive. So 100% is not really enough.
German-speaking schools like this one we are in right now in Tinglev plays a very important role for the German-speaking minority. This is where their kids are being taught in German, and this is where they got to know about German cultural history. But the condition for the German-speaking minority have changed, says the principal at this place. Right now she's giving a lecture for the 4th graders in English, so let's go and have a look.
The minority as such is not is getting smaller, I'd say. So I think that the schools will have to define themselves more and more like language schools and try to show both cultures, Danish and German culture.
However, she thinks that the schools are essential to preserve the culture of the German minority. But are there not any other important cultural institutions for them?
So you don't only learn about the culture at school, you learn part of it in the church, and you read about it in the newspaper, and you learn it when you are off school, when you're together with your schoolmates after school. There you also learn a part of the culture, and of course at home in the families.
The good relationship between native Danes and the German-speaking minority is marked by the church in Tinglev. It is actually a Danish church, but every Sunday a German-speaking mass is being held here.
Mærker du, at dine kirkegængere, altså din menighed, er mere trofaste end de dansktalende?
Nej, det tror jeg ikke, og det er mere. Men det er glad for at møde sig i gudstjeneste, og de har en god sammenhold, og så er det en god tid til at møde sig på søndag også. Og så snakker de her i kirken før, og så det er en god ting at møde sig, tror jeg.
But the cultural loss is not the only danger that confronts the German minority. Discrimination is still a current problem.
My own daughter had also bad experiences with it, and that is only 5 years ago. We were talking to the teachers that were involved, and they immediately stopped that, and were talking about it and telling them that the Second World War is many, many years ago, and there's no reason to discriminate anyone for the culture or for the language.
Despite of the challenges for the German-speaking minority in Denmark, they have been able to maintain a strong identity since the separation from Germany in 1920. While there are German-speaking schools to teach German, no one fears for the existence of the minority itself.